Hello guys, welcome to another video in the series of coding. Today we have a problem that is called count binary substrings. So you are given a string S, you have to count the number of non-empty substrings that have the same number of zeros and ones and they should be grouped together consecutively. So let's try to understand the help of an example. Suppose this is the string that is given. Let's try to first count the substrings that satisfy the condition. So see, this is one substring that I can show you that has 1 0 and 1 1. Okay, so let me write the sum here, which is the total. So I have found one substring right now which has 1 0 and 1 1, so same number of zeros and ones. Okay, let's try to identify another substring. So see, this is another substring that has two zeros and it has two ones. So since it has same number of zeros and ones and they are grouped together, so now I have found one more substring. Let's try to go ahead in this block and try to find other such examples. So see, the next block that I can find is here. So I have a substring which is having 1 1 and 1 0. So I have found one more such substring. Let me try to find more such examples. And I have this particular substring that is having two ones and two zeros. So I have found one more substring. Let me try to find other examples. So I have this particular substring which is having three ones and three zeros. So I have found one more substring. Okay, let's try to go ahead and find more such examples. So we have this particular substring which is having 1 0 and 1 1. Okay, and let's try to find the last substring which is this particular substring which has two zeros and two ones. So it has same number of zeros and ones and they are grouped together. So this is the total sum which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and this is what we have to return as the answer. But how do we reach to this particular output? So let's try to see what we did in this particular process. So we first found blocks of elements that are grouped together, right? Suppose this is one block and this is one block and this is the entire block that is grouped together. Now we know that the block that is grouped here is having two elements. The block that is grouped here is having three elements. Okay. So now we take minimum of 2 and 3, which is 2, right? So that corresponds to these two substrings. Because see, this one will, sorry for this, because see, this one and this 0 will form one substring, this one and this 0 will form another substring, entire substring, but this one will be useless, right? It is like if you have let's say two shirts and three pants, so you can only wear one shirt and one pant, so you can combine two shirts with two pants and one pant will be extra. It's something like that. It's a very bad analogy, but it's like that. So you have to take minimum of these two blocks. So this block has two elements and this block has three elements. So minimum of 2 and 3 is 2, and that will give this entire block. Okay. Similarly, let's go to the next block. So let me find this particular block. So this block has three elements, and again this block also has three elements, right? So now you can combine the substring, this substring and this substring, this entire substring and this entire substring. You will get three substrings because minimum of 3 and 3 is 3. It's like having three shirts and three pants. You can combine one with one and you can uh, have them as pairs. Let's find the next block. So you have next particular block which is 3 and 2. So in the next block, when you see 3 and 2, minimum of 3 and 2 is 2. So you can only form two substrings here, right? So here and here. So minimum of 3 and 2 is 2. So you will add 2 to the sum. So basically this is the crude logic. Let's try to work it out with variables, and let's just go over the logic properly, and let's try to make it a little bit less messy. So what we'll do, we'll declare two variables, previous and current, that we are going to use to help us in this particular case. So previous is having initially value of 0, okay, and let's have one current variable. So previous and current are two variables that are going to correspond to the blocks. Okay, so what do I mean by that? Let's go over the example and then we'll understand. So initially the current variable is 1 because there's one element, so one block. Okay, let's go forward. Next time when you are iterating over this particular element, now current is 2, right? In place of 1 we will change it and make it 2 because we have found two elements grouped together, two zeros are grouped together. So initially only there was 1 0, now we have found one more 0, so current is 2. Okay, now let's go to the next element. So let's go to the next element. When we go to the next element, when we are iterating here, we find that it is not the same as the previous element, right? So 1 and 0 are different. We compare it with the previous element, we find that it is not the same. That means that these two elements are different. So if these two elements are different, then we cannot increment current because current gives the number of blocks that we have together. So we cannot increment current for now. So what do? We just do one thing. We note the minimum value between current and previous, as we had seen in the logic. So minimum value between 2 and 0 is 0. So right now our sum will just increment by 0. Okay, let's go over the entire logic, and then it will be more clearer. And then what we do, we again change our previous value. We change our previous value to current. So current is 2, so now previous becomes 2, and then current becomes equal to 1. Okay, for this particular element. So let's go over the entire string, then I think it will be clearer. So when we go over the next element, so sorry for this, let's go over the next element. In the next element, now you see there was one element, now we have two elements that are grouped together, right? So there are two elements that are grouped together, so we change current and current becomes equal to 2. Okay, now let's go to the next element. When we iterate over the next element, we see this is the same as previous element. That means we have incremented our count. So now current has become equal to 3 because we have found three elements grouped together. Okay, now let's go to the next element again. Now when we go to the next element, what do we see? It is not the same as previous element, right? That means we should end and we should just see our blocks here. So now we have current is 3 and previous is 2. Okay, so previous is 2 corresponds to these two, current is 3 corresponds to these three blocks. Now we see the minimum between current and previous. So minimum of previous and current. Okay, whatever is the minimum value, that will be added to our sum variable. So minimum of 2 and 3 is 2, so sum will increment and sum will become equal to 2 right now. So we have found two substring, this substring and this substring, right? And let's go ahead now. What do we mean by going ahead? So before going ahead, we need to make changes. We need to make the previous equal to current for the next iteration. So previous should have the current value, which is 3, and we can change the current to 1 again, so that we can continue with our iteration. So current is 1 for this particular iteration. Okay, now let's go ahead again. So in the next iteration, this 0 is same as previous, so current will change and become equal to 2. Okay, now let's go over the next particular block. In the next block, so let me write with the same color. In the next block, again 0 is same as the previous element, which is 0, so current will change and become equal to 3. Okay, and then let's go ahead to the next iteration. Now next time we have the element 1. 1 is not same as 0, which is the previous element. That means our groups or blocks have ended, we don't have any further blocks. So now we will, what will we do? We will compare previous and current, and we will save the minimum. So you see, previous corresponds to this three elements grouped together, current corresponds to these three elements grouped together. Minimum of these two values, right? Minimum of these, minimum of 3 and 3 is just 3, so I will add 3 to my sum. So 2 plus 3 becomes equal to 5. Now I will make the change. Previous will become equal to current, right? Because in previous we are holding this particular block for the next iteration. So previous will become equal to current, which is also anyway 3, and then current will again become equal to 1. So let me change that and write that here. So for this particular iteration, current is 1. Okay, now let's go ahead. In the last iteration, we are at this particular element, we will change the value of current and it will become equal to 2. And we have ended all our, we have gone through our entire string, and now finally we are again left with current and previous. So again we will compare minimum of 2 and 3. Minimum of 2 and 3 is again 2, so we will store the minimum value 2 and we will add that to our sum. So 5 plus 2 is 7, so our finally sum becomes 7, and we can return this as our answer. So let's write the code for this. So we have three variables actually. Int previous is equal to 0 initially, and int current is 1 for the first element, and we have a variable sum that we are going to return. So initially sum is 0, but finally I'm going to change my sum and increment it accordingly and return sum. So let's start the iteration. So we will start the iteration from I equal to 1, and we will go till I less than s dot size I plus plus. That is, we are going over the entire string. Why have I started from I equal to 1? Because every time we are comparing it with the previous element. So I equal to 0 has no previous element, right? So I will explain what I mean. So if s of I is equal to s of I minus 1, then we have to just simply increment the current count, as we have seen in the logic of the code. Okay, otherwise what do we have to do? We have to add the minimum of these two to our sum variable. So sum plus is equal to minimum of previous and current, and then we have to change the previous value to be equivalent to current value, and we have to change current to be equal to 1. So that's it in this particular code. And finally, what we can do is we can again give this particular line, because for the last block, in this particular example, in the last block 2 and 3, we couldn't we couldn't save this 2 during the iteration. We added this particular value 2 after the iterations were complete, so I have to give this once again at the last, and that's it. I can run and check if it is working. So it's fine. Let me just submit and see if it's an accepted solution. So it's accepted. Thank you for being patient and listening.